Marginalized in childhood, I grew up on the edge. Had to move like parkour when I got pushed to the ledge. Free running shackles, barefoot, sprinting on all concrete. It's everyday struggles, but I never get cold feet. Yeah, it's hot out here, but I'm hotter than steel. Bury me, I resurface sprouting like a seed. Shoot up! I don't recede. Chop me a million pieces like a candle I multiply. Drop a nuclear bomb on me, I'm a road, still I survive. Crush my spirit into powder,
but still like dust. Our lives.
I got royalty, loyalty, inside my DNA. Still a king when bastardized, and nobody can take that away from me. That's right. And guess who's laughing now? I've been traveling on the wings of time. My body knows a few tricks of the mind. Survival is the mother of superpowers. I relent chameleons, caterpillars and flowers. Meditate for millions when not for a few hours. I write gentle letters to myself, but let the truth hum in my room. It's such an ugly world, but still I bloom. Rose from the dead, now dancing to a lifetime. Survival is the mother of superpowers. First things first, shout out to the ancestors for the godly genius. Verse to uplift the curse, I spit in the mix, it's offerings. The force still with me through this pandemic. Let's ride together like it's a tandem, no panic. Mix rain with soap, make pack to stay safe with the overmoon. We got enough powder, crack the ground, make another 9. Fuck what them racists say, we black on black in this web of lies. Middle fingers in the air, verbalize with I. Mistaken, misconceived, misheard, misplaced, misperceived, misread, misunderstood, misinterpreted, mistook, misrepresented, underestimated, underrated, undergraded, understated, underpaid, underrated, underdog, underground, but underway, under God, under crown. Never calamity ever faced here, look how bright I shine. More complex than the equation of time times I. Regular waves equalize vibes, I am the most high reflection of my I. Know something that's not in your atlas. This too shall pass. Inspiration overflowed, too many lives in a single lifetime. Extra time and cycles took a ride in the hands of time. I'm 39, daydreaming what I couldn't imagine at 13. Cause I was too hungry to sleep, too busy getting bugs on my skin, jiggers off my feet. 21, state of mind, forever young. Be responsible since 9 and still have fun. Dig the yard, slide in where rivers flow. Work hard, play hard till blisters blow. No banish though, suck it in, sisters know. I was raised by kings, men, and priestesses in exile. Who foot as the code we go by, we don't die, we multiply. Truth be told, truth is like gold, it gets final through fire. Man go fasha, yangombe. Man go fasha, yangombe. Man go fasha, yangombe. Man go fasha. I embody the best sides of two great dynasties, Yigi Yang Congo. Majesty of a crescent crane, powers of a low pod, mind of a general. Hotep, I'm a god on these waters, not a dog on a boat. Number four, sons of daughters, I'm on that doggone mucho. I go deeper, many struggle to estimate how long they gon' float. From the underground, I watch clouds fight over paper crowns. It's always funny, somebody's a victim of paper crown system design that you follow with what? Polycopes that get it. The path from slavery to royalty and rose is bloody in it. Sharks in the pool, it's just screen deep, no loyalty guaranteed. I know a couple things about power. If it's given out, but taken after. If it's getting snatched by one, it'll be snatched by none. It's extreme in between people suffer. Man go fasha, yango be. 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 Been a little before the word got bastardized, before I got baptized, before I wasted my time gazing in the skies, before I gave Jesus the wheel without asking, yo, can you drive? Or how many goose in your system sound of the most high? I gotta get back to culture, I gotta bring back the Scotland culture. Ever since Christianity came on the wings of vultures, we've been zombies with names you cannot spell right. Been walking dead to the souls they not. Fell out of time but still I carried on traumas and STI. Don't feel safe at home. The nigga Stockholm syndrome. I'm not a victim, I'm just a symptom. Like Michael Jackson killed hair. Body knows, everybody knows. Who controls the media, control the narrative. And this simple power is Caesar when I rock with. Fusar kokoro sori bisumizina wena zatishurugomo. Koma karinga kombari miringa tusiteze baringa vumbaringa zibubumo. Kora kubasha kamba mamagaze maguru aziture isibika. Ruganza ganze binego harambiki imitumba. Ndababwiza ukuri ruraba rwambika. Jye n'abatabyi twaje twambaye imyitozo n'izambyino, imvugo niyo ngiro. Wakamye rutendera inshuro inshuro zirenga 10, icumu ryabishinga rukara narishimiye witambika ndamutambikana. Muramwirahira ingangare ntabwira. Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate the opportunity to be on Latitude Festival. It's a digital world and we're pushing, we're doing whatever we can. Stay strong, my people. We're all here. I mean, the force is with us. All right, I appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of the show. My name is Eric One Key and I rep Rwanda. I'm from Kigali right now. Stay strong. May the power be with you.
I hope you guys are enjoying the festival. I'm reporting live from Kigali right now. The weather is beautiful, and I'm just glad to be with you in the festival. All right, so I got some questions, and you can ask more questions if you want to know about my art, about how we're surviving, how we're struggling through these times, or how we're dealing with being a country that was colonized. What is the process? How we decolonizing ourselves? Ask any question, and I'll try to answer the best as I can. But I have one here when they ask me, to what extent can the artist be agent of change in their community? You know, this is a question that we see every now and then, but it's just that it's pretty obvious that as an artist, you have a platform, you have lots of followers, and your people take your word for it. So they respect what you say. They have connections. There's a way that what you say reflects certain communities. So if that's what's happening to you as an artist, and you know you have the outreach, I think you have the responsibility to I mean like to create a better situation for your environment. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you want to create for yourself as a person, for your family as well. But I think more importantly to the community around you as well. Yeah. So artists have the power to do that. You know, they can reach even like politicians know it. When it's time to rally, politicians prefer they have to call for artists, you know, in order to lobby and get more audience, you know. So I think artists can do a lot in terms of uplifting their communities where they live themselves and all that. Yeah. So there is another question. How is Corona affecting your artistic production right now and your colleague artists? Well, I mean, Corona is like it's hitting hard, you know, for everybody, you know, for artists because we depend on performances, you know. Even if you make music online, the people who make the most money when you sell your music is the people who own the platforms, right? So we're talking about these digital distribution companies, even locally radio stations, they make the most money. So if you're not out there performing so you can cash in, it's very hard to survive. And me as an independent artist, I'm always looking for the best ways to produce with little and minimalistic tools and equipment. And you know, a space like this, I've been training myself over time. Like, you know, ideally I knew at some point I was gonna come to a point where, hey, I start performing in my room. Because also I live in a country where there are pretty much no public spaces, you know, so you don't see there are many events happening in public spaces, so it's very much controlled. So looking at that, I was like, you know, we have to strategize. So for me personally, it just felt like a continuation of my process. But for many artists who are depending on these venues, the little the act there, it's really hard. It's very hard. I mean, so hard that not even people are mentioning them or talking about them. Yeah, so we're all struggling the best we can. I mean, I think the most important part is to stay alive and to breathe and to continue to create. But it's hard to create. But I mean, over time, I think there's gonna be more of like digital festivals, and a lot of things are going to shift to digital. Yeah. And also speaking of digital, you know, we talk about like the internet as, you know, the go-to structure right now, but how is it decentralized? Because it's pretty expensive, and it still feels like you need to speak all these colonizers languages in order to have access to the tools that you need. So if we're talking about people living in a rural area and to tell them about the internet, yeah, they've heard of it, but how are they going to do it, you know? And also it's just complex, it's complicated, but at the same time as artists we have to come out and do whatever we can. I mean, this is happening, so it's probably going to inspire other people to do the same. Yeah, so we just have to continue to work, to continue to think, to imagine. That's our job at the end of the day, you know. And I'm pretty grateful that this festival is happening and is centralized around a very important question of decolonization and how do we think about the next lives, you know, as people, as Black people, as people in general, you know. So yeah, I think how do I face prejudices? Okay, so first of all, as a Black person, you know prejudices everywhere around your skin color. So you grow up with that. It's not even about like, you know, like when we talk about crossing the borders of Africa, yeah, but even within Africa itself, we look at each other differently because of these colonial structures that have been, you know, you know, we've been educated through it. So like the complexion, the levels, the size of your nose, the size of your heart, all these things. So you grow up wearing an armor. You're like, okay, I am here. I need to live. So use that as well. So frustration becomes fuel. You know. Yeah. So you deal with that. You find strength in whatever situation. Like, you know, we always talk about this thing of changing turning the negative into positive. That's how we live. This is how life is on a global scale, on a in worldwide. That's how Black people, that's how we survive, you know, because there's so much negativity towards who we are, towards, and so we grew up as well, like having complexes, you know, like for example, right now, like I'm in Rwanda, but if I have an appointment, you know, and I show up on time, they're gonna say, oh, he's a whitey, or the way I speak English, like he speaks whitey, so, and if I mean, if Rwanda, if Kigali is becoming such a beautiful city of Africa, it has to be reflected to another city of Europe, for example, be like, oh, okay, this looks like Geneva, it looks like someplace, but why can't we just be who we are and be accepted as we are? That's the question. And so we take that and we turn into work. This becomes like fuel for us to move forward because we have so much to do. We have so much to carry. We carry a heavy past, and the future is not certain for a lot of people. And it was not certain for a lot even before the times of COVID-19. But now that we are in the middle of a pandemic, and the pandemic is affecting a lot of people living in poverty, and we know how the biggest majority of Africans live in poverty. So it's really hard, and it's our job to think. Right now, like I wake up every day and trying to think, like, how do I get out of this misery? How do I take my family out of this poverty? How do I give better to my people around me, to my friends? How do we create better communities? Because also, in terms of age, there's a certain point where you don't have too much energy. So the time that I have it, I'm using to the best of my knowledge, the best of my powers, and I'm trying everything I can. The problems with dealing with social justice issues in Africa, and I'm pretty much in everywhere, is that less people are going to be associated with you because they want to make quick money. They want people to love them, people to have quick entertainment, like fast food entertainment. So that becomes the problem. Like I have, like even in this country, like what hurts me the most is to feel like you home, but you don't feel accepted because of the choices that you make as an artist, because of the choices of your content, because the choice sometimes with sexuality, of your orientation, of your ideas or ideology, all this because it's not in line with like what I would say mainstream thinking or the system's way of thinking. So you become marginalized, and then so I'm like, okay, you want to see how marginalized I am? I'll tell you about it. So we put it into art. And eventually, over time, it feels like healing in the process because at the same time, you cannot afford a shrink because you're not getting paid, you're not getting promotions, you just don't have the platform that you wish you had. But I'm glad this is happening, and the internet is more open now. The only issue is that you have to speak these languages. You have to speak French, you have to speak English, and that's how you get into the like so much that I cannot express in English because they cannot translate. Like for example, even the essence of being. You talk about me being black, but this black thing is only in relation to white people. Before that, it was just like you here and you here. Even today, currently, like my son probably doesn't care much about being black, but a lot of black around, a lot of black people around us, mostly. And so to deal with all these things, so many questions, like you question yourself, you question your surrounding, you question education, you question your religion, you question, at some point you start quitting all these things in order to find your true self, which is like the journey of a lot of people. And then when you get there, that's what start talking about enlightenment and stuff. But it's really hard work, you know. But yeah, some people got to do it. Um, yeah, I mean, let me see if there's any other question. Yeah, so thank you very much for your time and your patience and your interaction. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time with more music, more spoken word, more conversations about the topic of tomorrow, of the present, of us being. Thank you so much. My name is Eric Wonke. I love you all. Stay strong, stay good, and take care of yourself and each other. Cheers.